So Brock Lesnar's a guy we don't hear a lot about, and you were around when he returned. So was Brock Lesnar the kind of guy that would he be in? I mean, I'm not presuming he'd be in the locker room with like 17 other people, but like, would he be around? Would you get to interact with him? What was he like from your experience?
Well, Brock was very fortunate in that he was able to sign a very limited contract. So where the rest of us are on the road for probably 300 days a year and we're lucky to get home once a week, have a quick sleep, wash your clothes, pack your bags and get back out again, Brock had an incredibly limited contract that said he has to wrestle or appear, not even wrestle, something like 10 or 12 times a year, which is incredibly limited. And what a lot of people don't realize is even though you see us on TV once or twice a week on Raw and SmackDown, that probably only represents 25% of our actual wrestling shows that we do. The rest are what we call live events or house shows, which are non-televised. And the majority of the time, we're not doing TV. We're actually wrestling every night and going to town, wrestling just for the house. So Brock was incredibly fortunate in that sense that he was on the road in a limited capacity. Most of the time, we'd never see him at house shows, and only occasionally we'd see him at TV. And even when he came to TV, he'd get there at a different time than everyone else. He didn't have to get there at the regular call time, obviously. And when he got there, he had a luxury bus parked in the car park where he could go sit. And, maybe 30 minutes or so before his segment, you'd see him come out of there and he'd go to the ring, do his thing, walk to the back, shake hands with Vince, go back to his bus, and you wouldn't see him again for a few weeks until his next appearance. So he certainly wasn't around the boys or around the locker room at this stage in his career very much. But there was one occasion I actually saw him in a gym, and it's the only time I've ever seen Brock Lesnar in a gym. And as I mentioned, we all have a set call time that the roster has to get to TV for, and usually, depending on your time zone, let's say it's 2 o'clock. If you're on the East Coast anyway, it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. You have to be there, even though the show doesn't start till 8. We need everybody here 6 hours early, so if we have a rehearsal, you need to do photographs, or you need to do an interview, you're all here, and we know you're here, and no one's going to be late. So we're in the gym. It's nice and early. It's in the morning. I think we're somewhere in Texas, and there's maybe about 8 of us from the roster who are there because everyone goes to a different gym. But we're at Gold's Gym, not far from the arena where we're wrestling. And we're all working out. I think I'm there. Fandango is there. Bray Wyatt is there. Heath is there. Justin Gabriel. And there's just a little crew of us working out. Anyway, just before we decide, okay, time's up, we've got to really go to the showers, get showered up, put our suits on so we have time to get to the arena prior to 2 o'clock, we see Brock walk into the gym. And Brock walking into a gym is quite the sight because people either know him because, oh, he's that guy from WWE, or people know him because that's that guy who was the UFC champion, or people know him because, holy who is that? In a gym, there's some huge bodybuilders and stuff like that. Nobody looks like Brock Lesnar. He has a mean face on him. He's got this huge build and stuff like that. So everyone stops what they're doing and are just staring at this monster who has just walked through the door. And Brock recognizes, we have a quick hello, quick wave, nod to him, and the rest of us kind of head off to the showers and the locker rooms, and we start cleaning up before the show. So now we're just putting the finishing touch on, tying our shoelaces, doing our buttons up, whatever it is. And all of a sudden, Brock walks into the room, into the changing room, and he's pissed. He says, man, this kid keeps following me around every machine I go on, it sits next to me. I get up, I go to the free weights, it sits next to the bench. It just keeps following me around everywhere I go. I'm pissed. We go, oh, okay, Brock, cool. Yeah. See you at the building in a bit. And he walks past us. He goes round the corner of the locker room into the bathroom area where we can't see. So we finish up. We're all picking up our bags, and all of a sudden, this 16-year-old looking nerdy, dweeby, shy, skinny kid pops his head round the locker room. And he starts creeping around. And sometimes we kind of get people acting a little weird around us because we're WWE guys, we're on TV, especially if there's a group of us and, people have seen you on TV and they want a picture or whatever. It was like we weren't even there. This kid had no interest in these 8 dweebs. He started walking past us with one mission, and that was to get closer to Brock. And as he's walking past me, there was this small bit of my mind that really wanted to grab him and say, hey, not today. This isn't a good idea. Just leave him alone. But then there was the bigger part of my brain that thought to myself, the kid needs to learn. So I let him go, and he walks past me, and he walks past Bray, and he walks past Fandango, and he disappears around the corner. At this point, we all just look at each other because this is not going to be good. And there's a period of quiet, a few seconds go by, and then all we hear is, you trying to see my penis? Followed by this 16-year-old kid, no, scampering out of the locker room, and we never see him again. And yeah, that was the kid who tried to see Brock Lesnar's penis. And I suppose in his head, he just wanted to absorb the aura of Brock and be near him. Was just so wowed by him, he forgot his like social normalcies or whatever it would be. But yeah, if you ever see Brock going into a bathroom, please, for your own safety, give him a little space, whatever you do.